What a beauty to come back after 33 years. I'm so grateful. St. Augustine's made me. It reminds me so much of my days here. Very somber moment for me. Flashes of memories popping up. My event starts at 10 o'clock. I think we're going to have probably about 1,200 year 2 students. That's quite a number. And I pray that I'm able to leave a message that they will hold and cherish for the rest of their lives, where they're able to dare push themselves and be the best versions of themselves every day.
I now hand over to the leader of the team.
There's a mystery that I've been trying to solve for many years and I've not been able to. A couple of years back, I found myself in a remote village in Volta region. I saw a very young, good-looking man seated under a tree. I said, "Good afternoon, my name is Michael. I've been observing you from afar. Are you watching a movie?" He said, "No." "What are you doing?" He says, "I'm reading a book." So I asked him what his name was. He said his name was Bugatti. He said, "Not only am I Bugatti, I'm Bugatti Watu Noor," meaning the black car. And that black car is the most expensive car in the world, almost $28 million. And that is what he represents himself as. So I said, "Why?" He said, "I'm spending my time to read." And when you read, it's one of the most expensive activities and most rewarding activities you can invest in. "Tell me about your life story." I said, "Obviously he's Ghanaian. He went to one of the finest secondary schools, not only in Ghana, but in the world. He did 5 years at that school. And when he was done with his 5 years, his final exam, he failed. He was traumatized, he was depressed, because until that point, he had never known failure. To most of us, failure seems to be the end of the road for us. But you know what he did? He accepted the failure as part of the road to success. He took a whole year off and studied again. And you know what he did? He passed with distinction the second time around. In 1995, in August, he landed on the shores of America, finished his undergrad, and then pursued his master's at one of the most prestigious schools in the world as well. He worked briefly in America, started a few companies, and then decided to come back to Africa. So after spending 10 years in America, he came back to Africa to contribute his quota to the motherland and the continent. He was a technologist and an entrepreneur. He developed very innovative financial solutions, worked with telcos, banks, insurance companies, and all of that. His goal and ambition at the time was to be a mega billionaire in dollars. But along the way, as he grew, when he turned 50, he said he did reflections and introspection about his life. And he realized that the best way to live is not for oneself, but for others. From that point on, he decided to share himself with the world by helping people discover who they are and what their purposes are. Would any of you have an idea of the answers to the mystery? Who is that? What makes you think it's me?
When you do it for long states, you use that to make it so we are ancient now. So this is a little bit that is.
That is it. You saw what just happened. That is who we are when you are an Augustinian. You don't necessarily have to have all the answers. You start piecing them together. And that is what he did. A round of applause for him. My name is Michael Kweku Amankwa, aka Bugatti, aka Don Miller. I left in 1990. When I left here in 1990, I've not been to Cape Coast. So it's 33 years since I left here. And when I decided to start sharing myself, there was no better place than to go home, which is St. Augustine's. What you see before you is a man who has been on mission to figure out what life is about. And I'm here to share some of my lessons and discoveries along the way. Regardless of who you are, where you come from, what you don't have, all of that does not matter. What matters is who you are going forward. Today, I submitted Kilimanjaro. I can bet you guys don't know any Augustinian who has summited that mountain. Do you know what it takes to conquer a mountain of that nature? It took me 7 days and 6 nights. sleeping in the bush, climbing, and you don't walk your normal pace. You walk slowly, pole pole, as they say in Swahili, that's slowly. It gets very cold at night, icy cold. It rains, it snows, it turns into sleet, and you're climbing this mountain slowly each passing day. The mountain and the environment does everything it can do to break you down. To break you down so you cannot conquer it. It's like a spirit. But why would a man from Ghana go all the way, spend good money, dollars, go all the way to Tanzania to climb a mountain? Why? Now let me tell you why. In life, you have to always challenge yourself. You always have to do hard, smart things. Not only do you have to have a goal, you also have to come up with a plan. 10 months, every day, walking about 10,000 steps. Then I started jogging. Before, I couldn't even jog for 5 minutes. When I was done, before I set off, I could jog, run for an hour non-stop. Not only did I do that, I started climbing little hills. Then I conquered Afajato, the highest in West Africa, 885 meters. I took a whole week off, stayed in the village in Afajato, climbing it 3 times a day, from 5 in the morning till about noon, every day, for 5 days, sleeping in a tent outside because I was trying to simulate what I would encounter on the mountain. 60% of the trip, I realized my energy was depleting and I could not continue. But yet there were people back home on social media all waiting to see whether I was able to make it. And when I got to the top there, I said to myself, I have conquered myself, not the mountain. Therefore, I am limitless. Now, as you're listening to me, the way you are listening to me, I want you to know that you are limitless. You are highly capable. You are not at St. Augustine's by accident. The good Lord brought you here for a purpose. I was here and I know what this place does to you. So as you are here, many of you to aspire to climb the Everest, to aspire to take humanity to space and back. Do not accept to be ordinary. No, you were not brought into this world to be ordinary. Always seek to be unique. Now I'm going to leave you with 4 powerful nuggets. There is no way you can climb a mountain like Kilimanjaro when you are not fully fit physically. At any point in time, you want to make sure you are physically fit. You need to start cultivating the habit now of commanding your morning. So you start with what? Some form of physical activity. 2, you have to take care of your mental health. And that comes with you being conscious of your mental health. Seek knowledge. I was walking around and I saw a few people reading. Most of us will only read textbooks because we want to pass the exam. So whilst you are here, don't make any excuses. Study what you have to study, but also read to acquire knowledge. The 3rd one is your emotions. Boys, you are filled with so much testosterone. You're always hot. Your emotions, you have to appreciate them. At any point in time, ask yourself, how am I feeling? If you're feeling anxious, you're feeling sad, you're angry, knowing how you feel will guide you in how you interact with people around you. Today, a lot of us don't know that 1 out of every 5 Ghanaians have mental health challenges. So if you count 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 of them have mental health challenges. But you would not know. So when you are angry, cool off. Go for a walk. Do whatever that makes you what? Release your anger. Are you with me? Because sometimes anger takes us somewhere that we don't ought to be. When it's exams time, there's stress. There's stress. You're worried, you're panicking and all of that. When you feel anxious, do not conceal how you feel. Because when you do, it compounds and eats you. So anytime you feel funny, do not hide it. These things are very, very important. Then the next one is your spirituality. Have your quiet time. If it's a minute, 2 minutes, have your quiet time. Now remember this, a typical car has 4 wheels, tires. 1 representing your physical health, 1 representing your mental health, 1 representing your emotions, and the last one represents your spirituality. Now if 1 tire is flat, can the car move? If 2, if 3, if 4, most of us are on what? 4 flat tires, and we don't understand why we don't progress in life. So at any point in time, you want to ask yourself, are my tires properly inflated? So I talk to you about Kilimanjaro. November 1st to November 11th, 5 everyday people, myself an entrepreneur, a music teacher called Julius Richardson, Miss Anita Solomon over there, who's a banker, Pius Hayford, who is an architect, and a security guard called Enoch, is about to embark on an epic bike challenge, riding bicycle from Accra all the way to Tamale and back in 10 days. And these people are not professional cyclists. But why have we decided to take on such a daunting, challenging task? Just imagine, it's crazy. But why have we decided to risk our lives? Now let me tell you why. Because we have decided to risk our lives to create mental health awareness. Let people know that, look, if you're mentally challenged, emotionally challenged, it is okay. It is like malaria. It's like you having a runny tummy. It's like any other form of what? Illness. So let us not be shy about it. Let us talk about it. Whilst we are going to be educating the public on mental health and other subjects. Then the last one is to inspire and motivate you guys. Because when together we conquer ourselves and we work together, there's nothing we cannot achieve. So in this room are going to be the finest, some of the finest entrepreneurs, doctors, lawyers, pastors, whatever in this room. But the choice is yours. So as you go through life, I want you guys to remember that seek happiness. And secondly, and most importantly, seek inner peace. If you don't have inner peace and you have billions, what's the use? A lot of us today are fixated on status. Money, 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 money. Yes, money is good, but be smart. Let's flip the script by taking care of who we are first. Let's ensure we are happy, we have inner peace, and we are doing what? We are of service to humanity. That is why we will leave Accra at 4 something, drive all the way here to engage you, because sharing ourselves with you is priceless. Anytime you are in doubt and your future looks bleak and you're not sure, look at that ocean over there and know that the God that created you is a God of miracles. It's a God that will see you through once you believe. Are you with me?
Everything was well, and I learned we have to be limitless. We should break our boundaries. We should do whatever it takes to get to what we want to achieve. And so I really admire what the man said. I really admire him for having conquered Kilimanjaro and wanting to conquer Everest.
I've added to my schedules in this life that every morning I get up, I pray, I do a little bit of some health fitness, then I move.
If he was able to climb Kilimanjaro, I think I can climb Everest. It's not be too difficult because life, as I said, is not easy, but perseverance conquers everything.
I learned that if we persevere, we can do all things in life, as he did, or even go beyond that. So if you're an Augustinian, anything is possible for you.
And we are able to overcome anything that we put our mind to. Whatever that we put our heart to, we are able to achieve it and grasp it and get a hold on it if we truly believe in the destinies that await us.